This video is going to be a walkthrough of your first time logging into the Spatula Dispatch app for drivers. Okay, here we are at the Spatula login screen. I've keyed in my username bruce@mycompany.com, which we created as a user in the From Scratch to First Dispatch video. So we'll log in as him. Just down the bottom here, you'll see this ID number for the device. That's actually the device's IMEI number. We show that here on the main screen in case you want to deploy locked down devices and you need a way to identify particular devices. So let's just log in here with Bruce's secure password. Oops. And log in, and we should see we've only given Bruce access to a single vehicle at the moment, Andrew's van, which we can see I've automatically been logged into. If we had given him multiple vehicles, then before we reach this screen, we'd have to pick which vehicle we were going to log into. Also, if you had a pre-start module and you'd assigned a pre-start checklist to this vehicle, we would be prompted with a bunch of questions or whatever questions you had assigned before we got through to this screen. Okay, let's just have a look at what we've got. You've got a list of all the jobs that have already been dispatched to Andrew's van here. And you can see the one that we dispatched in the From Scratch to Dispatch video is right there. At the top, we've got a link to go to Google Maps. We've got a night mode to invert the colors. We've got the clock. We've got a little question mark which allows the drivers to send a question or a potential problem that they're having straight through to the help team here at Fleet Engineering for Spatula. The wrench there is tied to the pre-start checklists function, and if you're doing fault reporting, have a quick look at what that might look like. So it's just a simple checklist for this particular version. The logout button. Here we've got take a break. If you're doing fatigue reporting, you'll need to know exactly how often your drivers are resting. This will lock down the system and not let them do any more work until they say they're off a break again. So it's very robustly controlling the fact that if they say they're on a break, they're actually having a break, at least in terms of the system here. The I'm busy button there is specific to if you've got subcontractors and if you want to give them the option of not having jobs dispatched to them at particular times. And a check-in there is if you need a specific check-in location at an exact time. So by default, the app is actually checking in once every 5 or 10 minutes, depending on exactly how we've got it set for you. And so if you need a right this second check-in the minute you arrive somewhere, you might let hit the check-in button. Okay, so the job list here will give some basic information about the job. To get all the details, we click into it. So this screen will be laid out slightly differently, and you might get slightly different buttons depending on what features you've got turned on. But the basic idea is the same. We've got a section with all the information about the pickup. We've got a section with all the information about the drop-off. And we've got the More Info button, which shows you all of the information about the job. If this is a container elite job, then you'll see heaps and heaps of information around containers and clients and things. If it's a simple spatula job, you'll see this basic set of fields like you see here. Okay, at the top, next to that, we've got the camera. If I click that, it'll launch the camera, the camera within the app here. And if I take a photo, that'll just upload straight away. The pickup information, if I hit the map icon there, it's actually going to launch Google Maps and try and navigate me from wherever I am to that particular location. So hopefully it can find me a GPS signal. Yep, there we go. And back to the app. So I'm on the way to pick up now. Once I've arrived, you see the status changing here in real time, and that status is also changing, assuming I'm connected to the server in real time back on the dispatchers list. If the phone doesn't have signal for whatever reason, it'll just batch those up and send them back to the server the moment we get back into range. So let's depart again. We'll go through the whole job here. Now we'll say we're en route to the drop-off. Okay, now the job is en route to drop-off. Once we've arrived, we'll get the option to add a signature up the top here. So that's for a proof of delivery. We can add in a signer name. Andrew. We can add an email if we want to send, if we've got a workflow rule set up to send an automatic PDF. And we will, scroll up a bit. Okay, so if that's the end of that job, and the customer's happy. We hit complete job. And as you can see, now we've got a little complete job icon down the bottom here. So that job will actually stay in the list here until the driver dismisses it, so that if they want to keep a record of all of the jobs they've done over a particular time frame, they can see them here in the list. To get rid of it, we just go back into the job and hit remove job. And now that's gone. So that's it, a basic run through of what the drivers need to do. All of that information will be coming through in real time to you guys back in the dispatch room. And yeah, it's as simple as that. If you would like me to go into any more detail in a video about any particular feature, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next